What we do know is that the Marvel slate got all kinds of pushed. It got all kinds of messed up. So yeah. And by the way, can we stop bashing the Marvels before I even jump into this? The reason it's having a bad box office is because we've spent the last year and a half slamming Marvel films and trying to make them trash. If nobody had done that, by the way, it's still going to be the number one movie in the weekend. That's a 16-year stretch where all 34 movies have opened at number one at the box office.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the Marvels. It was, of course, one of the I believe, like you said, shortest Marvel films. But I think it fulfilled everything it needed to. It didn't need to be 2.5, 3 hours long. I felt like it set up so much, and I felt like, where there's some things, no movie is really ever perfect. But yes, there were some things that you can nitpick on, not like that ruins the whole movie. But other than that, like really entertaining, really enjoyable. It got serious when it needed to get serious. It was funny when it needed to be funny. I thought it was that nice balance of, that drama and comedy instead of getting away from, the more comedy and less drama. Right. So I feel like the pendulum is beginning to go back to drama and a little bit of comedy, because that's what makes Marvel great. That's what the storytelling has been so epic at. But we got a little bit away from that after Endgame. I'm going to be honest about it. I mean, we still enjoyed them. Of course, there are the nitpicking things, and of course, there are some things that are better than others. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like we are too hard on films. We are way too critical about these certain things. So it's just unfortunate. Let's get back to the very basics of being someone who enjoys films. Was it entertaining? Yeah. Did you like an aspect of it?
Yeah.
I mean, you see all of these critics come out and like bash them, or Rotten Tomatoes, or all these things, and they don't even mention anything they liked about it. Yeah. So I mean, I just want to get back to talking about things that we like. The glass is always half full. Yes. We need to be more positive in our critiques. Of course, you can still critique it. You can still point out little things, but I just, the negativity, man, it is crazy.
It's awful. We are doing to specifically Marvel films, but all films in general, what we do with everything in this country. We build them up and put them on a pedestal as the greatest thing ever, only to rip the pedestal out and tear them down. And that's exactly what people did to Marvel. This is the greatest cinematic thing ever in the history of all time. You'll never beat it. It's always going to be this and that. And then when it was there and it was exalted and we said, "Wah! Now everything fucking sucks and it's the worst thing ever and this and this and this and it's formulaic and it's blah, 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 blah." We did that. We built them up. We tear them down. I hate when fucking people do that. This is a really good film. The Marvels is a really good film. I'm right there with you. It has the drama. It has the action. It has a little bit of comedy. There are consequences, right? I always feel like the Marvel films do a really good job when there are consequences. There's somebody whose life is at stake or the world is at stake. That is the case in this movie. They also do what they did best. While there's only one post-credit scene, there's two surprises, guys. There's two surprises. Towards the end of the movie, let me just say that we get the official, this team is coming. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm talking about, but we definitely know. I was surprised at who's starting the team, though. That is not where I thought who was going to be the leader of the team by any means. But that team is coming, and then we get our post-credit scene, which sets up a whole different introduction of now we finally know. Now we finally know. So, yeah, super pumped. Go see it. Please go see it. You will not. I'm talking to non-Marvel fans. Go see it. It's a genuinely entertaining film, and I hope that everybody goes and sees it. That's not to say that you don't go see Oppenheimer, that you don't go see the dramas, that you don't go see the dialogue-driven films. I'm not only talking about save the tentpoles. See all film. We're talking about all film. We love cinema. We love movies. We love these people. And can we just keep this in mind? and I can't remember what guest of ours said this, but they talked about when they were young, they would do exactly they'd see a movie and trash it. Oh my God, that was the worst fucking thing I've ever seen, and blah, blah, blah. And then as they got older, they started remembering that people work hard on these films. Regardless of whether you like it, it wasn't your forte, it wasn't your thing. There were hundreds of people who put their whole life into that film and used all their talent and all their artistic ability to make that film. So when you trash it and say horrible things about it, you are putting that on those people who poured everything into making that film. And that's just not cool. You don't like it, you don't like it. Critique it. But to bash it, tear it apart, rip it, and just, it's just not cool. As creators, as filmmakers, I can tell you, come at me with your critique. Tell me what you don't like. But don't tear it down and call it a piece of trash or garbage or it shouldn't have been made or blah, blah, blah. Because until you strap on the boots and pick up the camera and make it, you can't say shit like that. That's all I'm saying. Until you get in the ring and brave enough to do it, don't tear down somebody's art. Critique it, but don't. That's just me. I just feel like you shouldn't be tearing down the hard work of all of these creative people just because you didn't like what they put out there.